Hmm. 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 Guess I gotta do that. Hey everybody. Not that there's anybody out there yet. Hey everybody. Not that there's anybody out there yet. Maybe there is. Not that there's anybody out there. We'll find out. Maybe there is. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this posted. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this posted. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this posted. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this posted. Okay. Maybe put it on Twitter's. I guess it's already there. I guess it's already there. I guess it's already there. Okay. Hey everybody. Okay. Actually can't tell if the one viewer we have right now is me, if the one viewer we or if there's another human out there. But perhaps this will be on stream out there. But perhaps, or I mean recording. Maybe you'll watch this on a recording later. It'll also be in the gallery. Maybe you'll watch this on a recording later. It'll also be in the gallery. Maybe you'll watch this on a recording later. It'll also be in the gallery. Anyway, I don't. If people show up in chat, I will be happy to be in conversation. I will be happy. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to work. But maybe I'll talk a little bit about what's going on. So Facebook Demetricator is work that I've been doing since 2012. But because it's a browser extension and it's that it's always manipulating Facebook after the fact. Manipulating Facebook, interjecting itself between the delivery of the interface by Facebook to your browser and the rendering of that interface in the browser in order to detect the presence of patterns that I've metrics to detect the presence of metrics using pattern metrics detect the presence of metrics using written pattern detectors I've written. Then it hides them. Pattern detectors I've written the idea and because I'm doing this and isn't something that Facebook is excited about. Because I'm doing this and it's not using any Facebook APIs or sanctioned anyway. It's not using any Facebook APIs or sanctioned. Does this in ways that can be easily broken by anything that Facebook makes changes to. Of course, Facebook is making changes all the time. Sometimes they're radical changes, sometimes they're minor changes, sometimes they're temporary changes, and they revert back. But whatever it is, the pattern over the last 9 years has been that make a version, and it works great. The day I release the version, ideal, and it works great. And then the day I release the version, things degrade, and it works great. And then Facebook makes changes, it breaks. Things degrade. Some of the things that I've done makes them not work as expected anymore. Some of the things that I've done until eventually it gets bad enough. I feel like I have to recut. I can't be super responsive usually because they make so many changes that don't last because sometimes very often they'll revert back. So temporary. And I learned that the hard way. they'll make a change, and at first I would, code something up really quickly to respond to that. First I would, code something up really quickly to respond to that. First I'd release the fix, and then they'd revert back, and now my fix is broken, and I have to go back. And now my fix is broken, and I have to go back. So that's a real. And so anyway, because of that, I've learned. So that's a real. At least give changes. Anyway, because of that, unless they're at least give changes. Anyway, because of that, dire. Unless light counts are hiding. Dire, for example. Unless light counts are hiding. But the truth is, the Facebook Demetricator has been in a degraded state for. But the truth is, the Facebook Demetricator has been in a degraded state for something like that. I mean, degraded. I mean, it's like not really working like that. Because I made changes to the interface, and I was already working on all of the projects for the exhibition at the gallery at Arvite. Exhibition at the gallery at Arvite. For this exhibition and this exhibition. So I just haven't been able to prioritize this. So part of what we decided, I had a conversation with Rebecca. So part of what we decided as curator of the show was that I'll make recoding the project part of the show's events, recoding the project part of. And so I'm going to be doing this at least every other Thursday evening. So I'm going to be doing this starting at 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time or Central Standard Time, which I guess we might switch to before the exhibition is up. And I'll just see if I can get it rewritten. And we'll see. I don't know. I think I'll be able to get through it in that time. I think I'll certainly make great progress. And maybe it'll be interesting to watch some of this. I don't know. And maybe it'll be interesting to either way, it'll record it. I'm recording these, so they'll be available online. I'm recording these for a while. Available online. I'm recording these for a while. And it does make me think maybe I should go ahead and at least. And it does make me think maybe I should go. There might be people on Twitter who'd be interested. There might be people on Twitter who'd be interested. I don't think it would be very many. There might be people on Twitter who'd be interested. I don't think it would be very many. There might be people on Twitter who'd be interested. I don't think it would be very many. There it is. Actually, I think Arbite tweeted it. Somebody else retweet. Yeah, this I think Arbite tweeted. Yeah, this I think I'll put that out there now. Okay. So where to start? So basically, when I started Facebook Demetricator and started working on 2011. Started working on 2011. I had no idea how to do any of this, like how I would go about doing most of the things that I do. I'd done one other Facebook-related work called Reload the Blur before that. That was very small in its manipulations compared to Facebook Demetricator. That was very small in its manipulations compared to Facebook. Spent a significant amount of time figuring out how to do it and write Facebook Demetricator and put some betas out there. And the truth was it was way too slow, and I had to go back and write a lot of things. The truth was it was way too slow. And then it worked like that for a good long time, and I did a big rewrite. I think in 2016, I did a lot of maintenance updates and a lot of 16, a lot of rewriting parts of it. But around 2017, I rewrote the whole thing. I don't remember what the big change was then. I ended up having to rewrite it. And basically, since they put out the new interface last year, I've got to rewrite it again. So. But in the interim period, during all that time, I've written Demetricators for other platforms, including Twitter and Instagram, for other platforms, and when I did the one for Twitter in 2018, I tried a lot of new things, essentially. And I tried a lot of new things. I wasn't in a hurry, and I wanted to see if I could improve the performance significantly. And there was a lot of new things that had come out between 2012. There was a lot of new things at Team, as you might imagine, on the browser. 2012. And significant development that kind of came into maturity. Were these things called mutation observers. were these things called mutation observers. It used to be I would have to constantly poll the interface. I would have to constantly code every second or every 5 seconds or whatever the smallest interval is that I could stand based on a balance between performance and performance for the user and performance on the CPU, essentially. Not performance for the user, performance slowing the browser down, essentially. So I would just poll and I would run a check on the interface every few seconds. Do you see any new versions of this? And as someone scrolls, Facebook scrolls, it dynamically inserts new material into the interface, new feed items. If you scroll fast enough, you have to wait for it. But eventually, if you scroll kind of normally, then usually it's just there for you forever. It's an infinite scroll. Usually it's just designed at this point. So that could really add up. Doing all this polling Mutation observers are a lot more low level in the browser. Mutation observers allow you to, instead of you checking you tell it what you want to be notified of. It observes mutations to the interface, to the DOM, as it's commonly referred to the document object model. So when I wrote Twitter Demetricator in 2018, that's what I used. So when I wrote Twitter Demetricator, and it made it was dramatic difference in performance. And it made a lot of dramatic difference in way more efficient, way more responsive, way more efficient. So really, there was no downside. More complexity maybe on the code side, not more terribly on the code side. Sometimes it's hard to know exactly. Sometimes it's how many of these to be running at once. But regardless, I've had to rewrite Twitter Demetricator some since then, but it's been Twitter Demetricator some, and Twitter's more stable in general. But it's been Twitter Demetricator some, and Twitter's more stable than Facebook for sure. Than Facebook for sure. And so what I'm doing for this brand new version, I'm not literally starting with a blank. I'm not a code editor. I'm starting with code editor. I'm starting with Twitter Demetricator, essentially. And I did some of this work. I don't know, spring, last fall, winter, I'm not even sure when. It's been a while. I'm not exactly. I haven't looked at this code in a long time. I've really been focused on other projects. But I'm excited to get it back. A lot of people want it. I want it. I rely on it. A lot of people want it. I want it. I rely on it. A lot of other people are interested in it, continue to be interested in it. So I'm happy to be rewriting it. That gives you a little bit of sense. I said one thing earlier too. I want to repop. Which is. I said these things that I do aren't sanctioned by Facebook, and of course that's true. Things that I do aren't sanctioned. And Facebook has expressed its displeasure over the things that I've done in various legal ways. But it's also not. The way I do this is not something that needs to be sanctioned by Facebook. It's something that the browser is the domain of the user. It is the domain of the user. It is quite literally the interface between the user and, in this case, the system, the platform. And so, what Facebook Demetricator does is it modifies the browser. That is my right. It's your right. And that is Facebook doesn't like it. It's your right. But they don't actually have any legal control over whether or not someone installs a browser extension. I just want to clarify that in case Facebook legal is watching, or searching. Anyway, let's get into it. If I see anybody come up, We'll be happy to chat. If you have any questions, anybody come up. I may say more, but I may also happy to chat. If you have any questions, anybody come up. I may say more. Still getting used to trying to decide how to handle this. Still getting used to trying to decide how to handle this. Still getting used to trying to decide how to handle this. Still getting used to trying to decide how to handle this. Also not used to having anybody watch me do this. So also not used to having anybody watch me. Okay, I do at least have it. Okay, I do at least have it. Let's see where it's at. 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 Could be worse. Could be worse. Could be worse. Worse. One of the challenges of doing all this work in Facebook is you're on Facebook and you get distracted by things on Facebook while you're trying to do all this work. Things on Facebook while you're trying to do all this work. Things on Facebook while you're trying to do all this work. Things on Facebook while you're trying to do all this work. But mostly what I'm looking for right now is you can see these see as well the Zoom work. Yeah, it will. And that's nice. Twitch does that well. Yeah, it will. And that's nice. Twitch does that well. See how I've got like a green box around this, and see how I've got like a box around that, and a white box around that. See how I've got like a box around that, some boxes around that, some boxes around that. This is kind of the first stage where I have to write code first to find. And find all of it. For me, I'm obsessive about it. I want all find all of it. For me, I'm obsessive about it. And then I have to write code to. I have to mess with them. And messing with them often is complicated. Because, for example, here I don't want to just hide everything in this box because it would hide things that aren't things. I want only message with hide things that aren't. So this shouldn't say Jodalap, Doug Sari, and 18 others. It should say It should say Jodalap, Doug Sari, and others. It should say Jodalap, Doug Sari. So I've been doing it back to 2012. This one should just say comment. This one should say comment. This one should say H at most, although I think that one will just. Or actually, that one gets converted to a vague timestamp like this. Actually, that one gets converted to a vague timestamp like this. This should just say view more comment. This should just say view more comment. So it's not. And I have to, I preserve it so you can know I have toggle the metrics on and off. So you can know let's see if I've got the metrics on and off. Let's see if I demonstrate that right now or not. Let's see if I demonstrate that right now. Probably not. Yeah, I do. Okay. Probably not. So very few are getting hidden right now, although this. So very few are getting hidden right now, although this. So very few are getting hidden right now. So I need to be able to preserve the state. So I need to be able to preserve the state. And it's not just preserve the state. I need Facebook preserve the state. I need to be able to update the state. I need to be able of it in real time, even when it's hidden. And so often the strategy I'm using is, I make a copy of this text. I remove the metric. I hide the original, the entire block, and then I put in its place the Demetricator version, and then when Facebook when somebody when another person comes along and likes the same thing, and it says Zaki Fisto 12 others, Facebook doesn't get lost. It knows what to update because it's still really there, and I'm just hiding it from the user. And that way, if they toggle the numbers back on, the numbers they're seeing are, and that way, the current reflects back current they're after seeing to the current. That's the current they're after seeing to the current. That's the idea. That's the idea. Anyway, so I'm just looking around to see it. This is some of the work I had done previously. So I'm just looking around to see it. This is some of the work I had done previously. So I have to kind of decide where to start. So many numbers still to go, even just on the feed, right? There's like 99 mutual friends. Even just on the feed, right? There's like 99 mutual friends. Even just on the feed, right? There's like 99 mutual friends. One of 63. One of 63. One of 63. This 9 plus. This 9 plus. This 9 plus. Oh, that's hidden at least. Okay. Oh, that's hidden. And if I pop this out a little wider, you'll see a lot more metrics occur. So 4 new, 9 plus, see a lot more metrics occur. 4 new over here, 5 others. 4 new over here, 5 others. Every pop-up. See, this pop-up's got 135. Every pop-up metric needs to be hidden. See, this pop-up's got 135. Every pop-up metric. Haven't even looked at stories. I don't even know. We'll get there. Haven't even looked at stories. I don't even know. Pop-ups can vary based on the kind of pop-ups. Thing it's pointing to, so if it's a user, it's one kind of a pop-up. If it's a page, thing it's pointing to, so if it's a user, it's one kind of a pop-up. This number and that number both number be hidden. Another. This number. See, Facebook's tracking me because I just started playing Nintendo. See, Facebook's tracking me because I just started playing Nintendo. See, Facebook's tracking me because I just started playing Nintendo. See, Facebook's tracking me because I just started playing Nintendo. C2 more. It's another one. 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 C2 more. Okay. In fact, you can see here. Where'd that all go? You can see here. Where'd that all go? You can see here. Come on. I think Chrome is kind of freaking out. To deal with that. Or maybe it's Twitch that's freaking out. Yeah. Twitch is not happy. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to push the stream too hot. But anyway, there's a class name that my code's inserted in here that about that being in age. FBD stands for Facebook Demetricator. About that being in age. FBD stands for Facebook Demetricator. This one should have FDP, just FBD metrics, so just a regular metric. This one should have FDP, just FBD metrics, so regular singles and metrics. FDP, just FBD metrics, so regular singles and metrics. There's so many windows open. Just going through and closing things. 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 I basically have too many things open. Yeah. All right, maybe that's enough. Let's see. My backups are done too. All right, looks like we have a viewer. I'm not sure if that means we have 2 viewers or 1 viewer. It says 2, but I don't know if one of those is me. So anyway, hello to somebody else out there. Let's just tackle something. Let's gotta start somewhere, right? So let's work on the birthdays. So one of the biggest challenges and ways this has changed over the years is when I started working on this in 2011, 10 years ago. All these class names, all the ID names in the HTML, all the CSS identifiers basically were human readable. Really nice. Now, of course, it's all machine generated via React, and it's just a gobbledygook mess. No sense to it. Almost nothing you can hang your hat onto often. So the first thing I'm doing here, so what I want to do is devise a way to find this text when it occurs. And I could look for a span with those 3 classes, but history has told me that that's a last resort. One that I often have to resort to, but There's bound to be other spans with those classes. It's not logical. It's only about, it's not logical. That's all I can say. Facebook doesn't make any choices because it makes for readable code or code that's easy to parse. It's only about machine efficiency. Even at that, I don't think it's that efficient. But so first I do is I kind of scan up the tree looking for any human readable identifier that might be somewhat unique, at least. To this particular situation. And we're going to have to go far. So here's the first one. At least I could go with right rail. This data pagelet attribute. So that's something. And so often what I'll do here is I'll just get I'm going to write code this. I'm just going to start to make some notes. So div data pagelet equals right rail. So that would be the selector for that particular, for this div, for that whole side of the interface, essentially on the feed. Everything that's highlighted up there. This is also probably useful. SSRB, I don't know, but RHC is probably right-hand column. SSRB, I don't know. Who knows? But it's a child of this div, so that's, and it's siblings with this. It's not as useful. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I can live with that. This is also maybe a little bit useful. Role equals complementary. A lot of things will have that, I'm sure, but it's also the main feed won't have it. So that's something. Now the question is, how specific do I have to, like how long does this query have to get to find that object? So we'll look. Maybe it is in an A, so that's, yeah, the whole thing's in an A. It might be useful. I wonder if that data visual completion ignore dynamic means that they aren't going to dynamically update it. Maybe it's only on load. You know, light counts are dynamically updated. That might be useful. Let's make a note.
What's frustrating is how little there is to go on down here, but another way to kind of look at this, I've devised various ways of doing this over the years, but I can see if I'm, whoops, I can see if I get lucky. See if this string is occurring all over the place or if it's relatively rare. Yep, there's 249 of them, so that is not going to be very helpful. I can even find my way back. To go over here and try again. So then it's a question of if we can look at this one. There's 923 of those on the page right now. Could be more as soon as I scroll a little bit. And there's 358 of those. So, you know, it could be that a span with those three things is not very common. Probably not. I mean, it's probably not going to be fruitful. It probably is common. But we'll check it. I'll just grab some jQuery because it's faster for me. And we'll say span dot. So there's three of those. That's interesting. Why don't we... Well, let's use what I found earlier and see if... where did it go? There it is. So I can grab this. So many of these there are. How do we do one? So there's only one of those. So that it might be good enough. Might be. It's still this is part of the thing is it's fragile. The more I have to rely on like a span with these three random class names on it, the higher the chances it'll break relatively soon. But it looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to go with that for the moment. Let's see if we can at least figure out how to get that integrated into the code over here. Since it's been a while for me. I just got to reorient myself to things here. So you'll see a lot of code in here that really is about Twitter, not about Facebook, because I haven't really gone through and extracted all of the old. I mean, big chunks of it I have, but not everything. It'll happen sometime. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. So this looks like maybe where I left off. Primaries, this is any birthdays to respond to. Right hand side, feed, something like that. Yeah, this function ready is one. It's nice wrapper around mutation observers that I use for a lot of things, and I teach with it too. It's by a guy named Ryan Moore. Don't know if he even still does anything with it. I don't think he does. It was just like a snippet he had put out there, kind of a relatively short thing, and I use it because I like the syntax. And again, right now, really mostly what I'm concerned with is just getting things tracked. Let's make it, I don't know, light green. If not Demetricator. Yeah. So now I've written a little bit of code. I need to do what I always describe to my students as the dance. So you gotta reload the extension, reload the page, see if the thing you are trying to change was changed. Also deal with the fact that now it's not showing me this thing at all. Maybe there's no birthdays today. Maybe it's thinking about tomorrow. I don't know. I can't even test it right now. And this is a common thing with Facebook where, it just isn't going to show me the thing I'm looking for at the moment I want to see it. So I'll move on and hope that I caught it the next time I see it. Kind of unsatisfying, but let's work on this. Not mutual friends. So it's probably going to have the same beginning. Probably going to have this data pagelet right rail thing, for example, since it's in that same kind of location in the interface. Yep, data pagelet right rail. Okay. And it's probably in an A. No, maybe not. Let's see. I mean, the whole thing is, yeah, it's probably not an A, I guess. I've done it with some other thing. That's kind of interesting. First, because it's got a single class. Portrait of a net artist staring at gobbledygook. I mean, those two things are synonymous, I guess, is my point. This is what I do a lot of the time. So again, this might be useful. I think this will be useful again. So I think that's what we did before, right? Yep. All right, so let's eventually I'll probably consolidate a lot of this functionality. But for the moment, it's easy for me to just make a new function for each thing and then to make sure it's got a good comment. Track it later. So this is right-hand side friend requests. And often I'll like to put something like just so I can search for mutual friends later, for example. But I'm not done. Now we gotta. So I got us to here. Now I gotta find a way to get from here down to there. You know, the role equals button might be useful. A div that has an aria labeled by attribute. And a role equals a button. Might be enough, yeah. Let's take a look. I think I've got that syntax right. So let's see, do I get at least one of those? Yeah, might be good. Might work. Span. And then I can do a text. There it is. Okay. Feel pretty good about that one. That's unlikely to break. I mean, it's less likely to break. It's not unlikely to break. Everything's likely to break. All right, let's reload. All right, and once again, it won't give me the thing I'm looking for when I want it. So just have to wait again. All right, try one more time. Wow, that looks great. Yeah, it's getting those at least. That's good. Yeah, that's nice to see. Now I'm just looking for uncaught metrics on the feed right now that aren't outlined. And so here's one. Another one that's going to be hard to get to show up for you when you want it to check it. But at least I can try and get it while I see it. Now the roll equal button, maybe. Can't rely on that ID. You'd think, oh, there's an ID, how great. But the IDs are all dynamically generated on the fly and change all the time. I mean, they're like on each, even just chunks of the feed. You know, even if I got the exact same button back on a reload, it wouldn't have that ID necessarily. Usually wouldn't have it for sure. Same with this one. You can't really use IDs. These are just things they use to track chunks and target. So you can see this JSC CMS probably corresponds to some JSC thing down here. And so at least only has one class. Yeah, this is a whole feed item. It's probably a feed item class. Yeah, this is this one's gonna be more tough. So really, it's this subject or blower I need to be finding. And it's probably going to be within, I probably already have something that's like going through every feed item and then doing a series of searches within them. That's how I would normally do it. Newsfeed blocks. Div roll equals article. Okay, so yeah. So it's like once I found a feed item block, then just like search all kinds of things to see if that particular feed item has any of these different categories of things that you're looking for. So, okay, that's good to know. I mean, there's not a lot. A lot to go on. There's nothing good. Probably why I haven't done it yet. I mean, honestly, This is bad. This is not a good scene. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, what if I do that? Oh. 92 of those. Yeah. Okay, so you got to get more creative. So yeah, I think I would try this. Two of those. Come on. See, the more weirder I have to get and just kind of, I mean, just the more chances it's going to break. But I could try this one next. We could do... one of those. So that didn't help at all. Okay. Can't do that either. Yeah, this is kind of a nightmare situation. This is the next most specific, or least number of... I mean, part of what I end up doing in these situations a lot is, we'll see how bad it gets. Maybe I'll end up showing you. Sometimes I go through each and every one of these classes and I search for which ones have the least occurrences on the page, and I look for combinations of those as a way of getting me to the right place, but it's fragile. Let's try this one. So that div is going to go here. No different. 21. Okay, sometimes I just get more brute force, like how can I even find any way to narrow it down? So I know the span. I could just go for like brute structure. So button, and then I could try to narrow it down. So that div aria label. Oh wait, yeah. Well, I guess really I'm looking for div role equals article first, because that's probably the test that's up here. That might narrow it down a little more. Let's try that. Okay, it didn't really help. This roll equals button, and then div span. Yeah. And one of those. What are they? So you can kind of see that the C3 more shares all styling and structure with every add friend button on this feed. So that means I should go and try to exclude the add friend block, the block, whatever block contains add friend in it. So it's going to be this. It's all these add friends. So I want to see if there's some way to exclude that block. So I'm looking for a div role equals article. Well, is it in a div role equals article? There it is. So that's the top of, so this is a feed item. So the question is, does this particular feed item have anything about it that is different from every other feed item that I can use to my advantage? I don't see much. Don't see much. Maybe. Two viewers sticking through it. Yeah, so they got the same class. They just look identical. Nothing useful in the difference here. Nope. Okay, so this is the same. This next block, RQ0, that's the same. That's the same. That looks the same. That's crazy. I know Facebook isn't using things like this to intentionally screw me up, but boy, does it. I'm sure they don't mind. So here's the difference, at least. I'm not sure how useful it's going to be, but I can almost, if I just find something that normal feed items have that other one doesn't, that could give me a way to do this. Actually, maybe they don't all have this. Alright, let's try that. So it's role equals button. I guess it's after article. So yeah, maybe I want a div with these 3 classes in it between here and here. Jeez, that really didn't help. Surprised. Let's try that. So that's what I just tried. No, it's not. Oh, right. Now wait, I need to go back here for a second. Losing sight a little bit. Getting tired. Alright, let's get a little more brute force. Like that. Seriously? Okay. Let's just try one other crazy thing. Probably won't matter. No difference. Well, okay, so I could do something crazier. What's the simplest version of this query? I guess it was this one. I might not even need any of that. Don't think it's really helping me much. Yeah, same difference. So let's see just how far I can go with that. Same. At least a little safer. What if I got rid of these 3 divs? Worse. Okay. So I'll use that. And we'll just see if there's the word SEE in it. And then we'll care about it if it is. I could do a regular expression on that too, and probably will later. Now we will say 2x6. Okay. So now I have to scroll down and see if I can find another one of those. Another thing I have to deal with is when Facebook seems really slow. I always wonder if I did it. Actually, I think I maybe did break it. Let's see. Well, definitely something's going on. It's probably me. Well, there's a problem. Yep. Ah, I am getting tired. I had a very long day. Have a long one tomorrow. It is running slow. Next time I will close everything else on my laptop so we don't ever have to wait like this. Still looking for an example of that button. Or not. Probably am. Oops. See? That's not. Is that? Yep. So it's catching this. Congratulations, by the way. Huh. Shouldn't though. Shouldn't. No. I mean, I'm catching that and screwing it up, but I don't think it's, where else am I doing yellow? So maybe this one? Share to memory? So, we'll have to fix later. I don't know if I'm going to find one to be able to verify or not. Yeah, it's so slow. One of the frustrations is that these big interfaces can really slow down when you are when you've got a developer console open. Yeah, it's a lot more responsive now, which makes doing the work that I do, here's something I shouldn't be getting. Yeah, I'm not finding an example. It's also moving really slow. Maybe no payoff today on this one. What are the last two we've done, right? I did birthdays and mutual friends on the right-hand side. And since then, none. I've never been able to confirm. There it is, and it didn't work. Okay. Why not? Did I write something incorrect? Oh, I see the error. I am too tired. This is going to be the last reload. I'm making dumb mistakes. Slow. What is that? Need to watch that. It's running so slow. It's just not even working. Come on. Is it me? Still looking. There'll be one eventually. But also worried about how slow this is getting. I do still have a lot of code that's left over with Twitter that I need to pull out. So Alright, I think I'm going to call it. I am not finding mine. I just have to hope. I should give it a comment. Good comment. Okay. Hey, I don't know who's been watching, but I know that it's at least one person out there, and maybe two. So thank you. And if you're watching this later, the plan is to spend some time doing this at least every other week, but I'm going to do this more often because I want to try and get this rewritten by the end of the exhibition, which is in late October. So so there may be more, and I will go ahead and broadcast on Twitch any future sessions, whether they're with a normally scheduled time or not. And so you could check the channel occasionally, see what you find. And other than that, hope you all have a good evening or morning or afternoon, wherever you are.